Hello everyone, this is part 1 of What If Naruto Went Back to the Past. This story is made by Wilkins75, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze stood on top of the Hokage building looking out over Konoha. The 21-year-old man had grown up a lot since becoming a ninja nearly 10 years before. No longer was he dressed in an orange jumpsuit. Instead, the only orange on he had on were the flames that danced around the bottom of his cloak. He wore an all-black armored shirt with dark gray pants and black ninja sandals. His black forehead protector rested just above his eyes. No longer was he the runt, for he stood 6 feet 1. No more was he innocent. His hands had been stained with too much blood to be called innocent by anyone's standards. The wind whipped his cloak, snapping Naruto back to the reality at hand. He looked over what was left of his home village. The fires still raged around what was left of the village. However, the fires were only a delay. The Fox-Sana knew, just like the few ninja left under his command, that today was the day that Konoha would fall. Konoha had seen its last sunrise. Naruto-kun, said a sweet voice from behind him. He turned around, already knowing who it was. There stood the pink-haired ninja and love of his life, his wife Sakura Namikaze, formerly Sakura Haruno. Like him, she had changed a lot since she was a genin. She stood about 5 feet 8, and her pink hair reached to the small of her back. On her feet was a pair of combat boots. She wore tight black biker shorts with a red skirt over it. Like him, she had her kunai holder on her right leg, and, again like him, she had over her hands black fingerless gloves. She wore a red sleeveless shirt. Over that, she had on her white but blood-stained medical Junin jacket. We're ready. Good. Let's hope we can end this and save them all, Sakura-chan, said Naruto. Don't worry, Naruto-kun, we will, said Sakura as he placed one of her hand on her husband's cheek. Sakura-chan, what did I do to get someone as good as you? Asked Naruto as he leaned his head down, putting his forehead against hers. You waited for me to open my eyes, said Sakura before they kissed. However, it didn't last as long as they would have liked. We have to get going, Naruto-kun. Yes, we have a date with the past, said Naruto as he and Sakura walked down toward what would have been the Hokage's office if she was still alive. On the office floor was painted a large seal in the form of a star. At each point stood a good friend. Jiraiya, you and the others don't have to do this. Yes, we do, said Jiraiya as he used his crutch to stand up with his one good leg. You are not going to talk us out of this, said Lee as he stood at another point of the star. Yes, this is the only way to get our friends and family back, said Anko at another point. It is the only way to get our loved ones back. It is the only way to get back my Tenten, said Neji. To get back my Kakashi-kun, said Shizune as she looked at her wedding band. Just deal with it, said another of the time travels as he walked in. He had on black saddles with black pants, that led up to a black long-sleeve shirt, with fishnet under it. He on a green Junin jacket with cuts and L in it, his leaf headband was wrapped around his arm. He also had a light cigarette in his mouth and his black hair was back in a short ponytail. Shikamaru, how are doing? Asked Naruto. Well, I just want to get this troublesome task over with so that we save our home, friends, and family, said Shikamaru. We will, little boy, said Shikamaru's wife, Temari. She was dressed in a black robe with a red sash in the middle, with red lining. She still had her fan on her back. She no longer had the sand headband, instead below her blonde hair sat her leaf headband. However, we have to save the sand village as well. We will destroy the Akatsuki and the sound village before they have a chance to get all the other demons. If we do that, we will end this war before it even begins, said Naruto. It is time, said Jiraiya as the 4 travels gathered in the center of the seal. The 5 ninjas at the edge of the seal started to run through hand sides. Suddenly all 4 of them stopped in a different hand sign. For a few seconds nothing happened. Suddenly all 5 of their friends fell to the ground. Their offering was taken by the death god. Naruto felt his whole body start to get apart cell by cell. Soon a flash of red light filled the room and all four of them disappeared, followed by that timeline being destroyed because the past was being rewritten. Sakura, you know, forehead, you can stay here forever, said Ino as she stood next to her friend near the gate waiting for her friends to come home from their mission to save Sasuke from Orochimaru. I know, Piggy, but I can't help but worry about them and Sasuke-kun, said the young Sakura. Yeah, I know, said 12-year-old Ino as she looked at her friend. Suddenly Sakura fell to the ground holding her stomach. Forehead, what is it? Suddenly Sakura screamed in pain. My body feels like it is being torn apart, screamed Sakura. Don't worry, I'll get help, said Ino. Suddenly a blind flash of light happened and her friend was gone. Instead of her friend there was a woman maybe in her early 20s and she looked like Sakura. Slowly the woman stood up and looked around. Who are you? Where is Sakura? The woman just looked at her before smiling. It is good to see you again, Ino, but I am afraid I have to get going. Everything will be explained later, said the woman as she ran through the gate so fast that Ino had trouble seeing it. The moment after the woman disappeared, Ino ran to the Hokage's office. It only took about a few minutes to reach Chuji's location. He was pressed up against a tree, holding his heart. Don't worry, Chuji, you'll be fine, said Sakura as she reached into her medical jacket and pulled out a pill. Due to the war, the medical squad had developed a pill that would save a ninja's life after taking the Akamaki clan's solid pill. Eat this, said Sakura as she placed the pill in his mouth and massaged the tea until he swallowed the pill. Good. Now Chuji, I am going to go check up on the others. The other medics are on the way. Stay strong, Chuji, that is an order. I will, thanks, said Chuji, still unable to open his eyes to see who had saved his life. Shikamaru out of Temari. Well, it looks like I took care of that sound ninja, said younger Temari, something you couldn't do. I had to figure everything out. I told you so, you didn't have to figure it out, said Shikamaru before they both suddenly fell to the ground. My body feels like it is being torn apart, said Temari as she tried to stand up but couldn't. Same here, said Shikamaru. Suddenly both let out a scream. Suddenly in a blinding flash of light they were replaced by their older selves. Slowly they stood back up. I guess it worked, little boy, said Temari as she looked at her husband. Yes, it did. Now we just to deal with the troublesome task of explaining everything to everyone, said Shikamaru as he crossed his arms. Still, it is better than watching everyone else. Anything is better than that, said Temari as she rolled her eyes. So let's carry out our part of the plan. I will go take a look at Lee, you go to your brother and Kiba, said Shikamaru. Sakura should reach Neji and Chuji pretty fast. Sure thing, little boy, but remember the other part of the plan, said Temari as Shikamaru raised an eyebrow. How could I forget my promise to you, said Shikamaru. Of course I will keep it. Good, because it will be so nice to have a whole room to ourselves and with no threat of attack we can have some real fun, said Temari as both of them grinned before leaving to do their jobs. Naruto. Sasuke stood on top of water holding up Naruto with one hand and a Chidori in the other. This is it. I am finally going to get the Mangekyo Sharingan, thought Sasuke as Naruto opened his eyes. Suddenly Naruto's entire body felt like fire. Without even a thinking he let go of Naruto, who started to scream in pain. What the hell is happening to him? Sasuke just watched as Naruto was engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the light faded, a man dressed in black was kneeling on top of the water. Suddenly the man started laughing in what could only be decided as an evil laugh that sent a wave of fear down his spine. Who are you and what have you done with Naruto? Asked Sasuke as the man slowly stood up, his face still down, still laughing. Going off instinct, Sasuke charged forward, his Chidori in hand. However, the man didn't move. Instead, he grabbed the Chidori with his hand, which was glowing in red chakra that overpowered and put out the Chidori. That is IMPOSSIABLE. Sasuke yelled to himself as he tried to break free the man's grip. The man suddenly let go, which sent Sasuke tumbling back. To answer your first question, said the man as his head snapped up. His face scared Sasuke to the core. It did look like Naruto's, only older, thinner. The only noticeable difference was his eyes. His eyes were blood red with SS like a wild animal in the mood to K. Just then he smiled, showing off slightly pointed teeth. I am Naruto. X. What are you? asked Sasuke as he started to back away from the man and those glowing red eyes. Good, you're afraid it will make this all the more fun for me, said Naruto as he smiled and walked towards Sasuke, who kept walking back away from him. What's the matter, are you scared? How can you be Naruto? Asked Sasuke. I am from the future, a future where you lead the sound and allied with a group called the Akatsuki. Together you destroy the village and kill almost everyone I have ever cared about, said Naruto, so we used a forbidden jutsu to send me and my team back to change history, and it starts here and now. But I haven't done anything yet, said Sasuke. And you never will, said Naruto as his eyes moved to the side of the cannon wall. Suddenly Naruto disappeared and reappeared by the valley wall. Well, looks like today is my lucky day, said Naruto as his hand started to glow solid red. A hand of solid red chakra went flying through the solid rock, causing a huge crater to form. When Naruto's hand came flying out, it was holding a man who looked like a plant. Apart from his black cloak with reed clouds on it, he had two green things coming around his face. His face was black on one side and white on the other. I never knew that you were spying on us, Zetsu, said Naruto as he held the man up high. So the Kyuubi finally took over you, said Zetsu. No, the Kyuubi is allied with me and my clan. He gave me the ability to summon demon foxes. He also gave me this bloodline limit, which I call the demon chakra. You see, when I am like this, I have complete control over some of the chakra of a demon lord, said Naruto as Zetsu's eyes widened. Naruto started to form a red Rasengan in his hand as he kept on smiling. Well, it is time, I hope you have a great time in hell, yelled Naruto as he slammed the Rasengan into the guy's chest. Sasuke just stood there in horror as Naruto's Rasengan hit the guy. Somehow Naruto held onto the guy, looking him in the eyes as the entire lower half of this strange man's body from his end down was L from the rest of his body. My god, thought Kakashi as he kept running toward the battle site. Naruto has unleashed the Kyuubi. This is not good, I may be too late. He increased his speed. After a huge explosion that destroyed the side wall, this older Naruto was smiling, his pointed fangs sticking out from under his upper lips as he stood there still holding the S-man's head in his hands. Naruto's hand was covered with cuts, but before Sasuke's very eyes they healed at unheard of speeds. Sasuke just stood there in fear as this Naruto sealed the head in a scroll. One down, said Naruto as he turned towards Sasuke, who was now shaking in fear. What are you? Asked Sasuke as Naruto disappeared in a yellow flash and appeared in front of Sasuke. Quickly Naruto grabbed Sasuke's tea and held him up in the air just like Sasuke had done to him so many years ago. If you want to know, I will tell you, growled Naruto with his red eyes filled with hate. I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. I am the former jailer of the nine-tailed demon fox. I am the student of the Toad Sannin. I am the first to summon the demon's foxes, giving me the TLE of Fox Sannin. I am a leader of a team that has traveled back in time from about 9 years in the future to stop you from killing thousands of people. I am the man who will end your life. That last part sent a wave of fear down Sasuke's body. Please don't kill me, I haven't killed anyone yet, pleaded Sasuke. Besides, what will people think about you back in the village? I don't really care what they think, me and my team are saving their lives, that is all that matters, said Naruto as his ear twitched and looked toward the valley's edge. Looks like we have company. Sasuke looked and saw his silver-haired sensei ran toward them. Who the hell is Guy? Asked Kakashi to himself as he got closer to the scene. Well, hello there Kakashi, said the blonde-haired man with his back to Kakashi. Whoever you are, put down my student and tell me what you have done with the other, so that I can take both of them back to the village and I will let you leave in peace, said Kakashi. I am afraid I can't let him go back to the village, but as soon as I am done here I will go back with you, said the man. What are you talking about? Asked Kakashi. You still haven't figured it out, Kakashi. I am Naruto, said the man as Kakashi's eyes widened. How can you be Naruto? He is a little kid. Asked Kakashi. Kakashi, this is going to hard to wrap your head around, but 9 years in the future the village is destroyed by the Akatsuki and the sound lead by this snake here, said Naruto as his grip tightened around Sasuke's end. Using a forbidden jutsu, my team and I merged with our past selves. The Naruto you know is no more. Wait, you aren't alone? Asked Kakashi. No, he isn't alone, Kakashi, said a woman as she appeared in between them. Her pink hair told everyone who it was right away. Sakura asked Kakashi just to make sure. Yes, Kakashi, it is me, it's good to see you again, said Sakura as she smiled at her teacher. So, I am guessing I am S in the future, asked Kakashi. Yeah, but I am going to K your cur, right now, said Naruto as he started to form a red Rasengan in his hand. No, we have to take him back to the village, yelled Kakashi. No, today this snake's S, said Naruto as red chakra started to form around him. Kakashi's eyes widened. Don't worry Kakashi, I have complete control over the chakra. How? Kakashi asked, a little stunned that Naruto had control over the Kyuubi's chakra. I will explain later, now I get to K this snake, said Naruto as Sasuke looked at Sakura. Sakura, please stop him, he has the nine-tailed fox in him, said Sasuke, to which Sakura only chuckled. I have known that for years, you snake-loving SOB, said Sakura coldly. Please save me from this monster, said Sasuke. That monster is my husband, yelled Sakura as Kakashi's and Sasuke's eyes widened. Naruto-kun, please K this snake. Now who am I to deny my wife what she wants, said Naruto as he slammed the Rasengan in Sasuke's chest. Kakashi had to close his eyes. He wished he could close off his ears as he heard his student cry out in pain. Soon it was over. He looked and saw what was left of his student's body being sealed away. Sakura walked up and put her arm around Naruto's shoulder. The red chakra was gone and his eyes were back to their normal shade of blue. Naruto-kun, it had to be done, said Sakura. Yeah, but still he was my friend, said Naruto as he slowly stood up. Alright, let's head back to the village. I am sure we will have a lot of explaining to do. I know, and just think my parents are still alive, said Sakura with a smile as Naruto grounded. Don't remind me, they hated me in the future, why would they like me in the past, said Naruto as he rubbed his temples. Soon the three of them headed toward the village, everyone knowing that it would be a long day. Well, this is really troublesome, said Shikamaru as he, Temari, Naruto and Sakura sat in a holding room near the Hokage's office. Anbu stood by the windows and doors. Each one had their blood taken so that they could be DNA tested against the records that they kept sealed in the hospital. We all knew that this would happen, said Naruto as he sat twiddling his thumbs. I just wish they didn't take so long testing our blood. Outside the room stood Tsunade rereading the blood test. This can't be right, said Tsunade. I don't understand it either, but we ran the tests 10 times, each time the DNA matched, said Shizune. They are who they say they are. Well, we don't have Temari's blood, so we can't be sure, but if they are telling the truth about being who they say they are, then she is likely telling the truth herself, said Tsunade. She is Temari, said Gaara calmly. How do you know that? Asked Shizune. She is my sister, I know she is, said Gaara. Besides, she has our mother's fan, said Kankuro, but I still don't understand why she has a leaf headband. They told me that both the Sand and the Leaf villages were destroyed, maybe that is why she has a leaf headband, said Shizune. No, there is another reason, said Gaara. You guys failed to notice that she has a ring on her finger. Wait, are you telling me that our sister married someone from the Leaf village? Asked Kankuro. Yes, and I believe she married that Nara boy there, said Gaara. No, I don't believe you, it has to be someone else, she wouldn't fall for that boy, said Kankuro. No matter, we need to report back to the Sand with the information that Temari gave us, said Gaara as he held up a scroll. Come brother. With that, Kankuro and Gaara left, heading back to the Sand village. Lady Hokage, there isn't avoiding it anymore, you have to talk to them, said Shizune as they approached the door. Tsunade nodded as she opened the door. It is great to see you again, Tsunade, said Naruto as he stood up. I am still not sure if what you said is true, said Tsunade to the man standing in front of her. True, he had the marks on his cheeks and his smile seemed the same. Well, maybe this will help you out, old lady, said the man as he reached under his shirt's collar and pulled up a small N lace to show her. It can't be, said Tsunade as Naruto handed her the N lace. You gave me that after my battle with Kabuto and won our bet, said Naruto. Now do you believe me? I am starting to, said Tsunade. That's good, said Shikamaru. So when can we get out of this troublesome place and start completing our mission? We will have to see what the council says, said Tsunade. Great, the council, another thing I hate being on, said Naruto as Shizune looked at him. How could you be on the council? asked Shizune. Check my blood against the fourth's, you'll find that he is my father, said Naruto as the past people looked stunned. What did you really think he would use just some random newborn? If a DNA match isn't all you want, checking the birth records from that day will. You'll find it sealed in the third's records. Shizune, check it out, ordered Tsunade as Shizune ran off. So when do we head toward the council chamber? Asked Temari, because I would love not to sleep on the floor tonight. The floor? Asked Tsunade. All the beds were full of the wounded, we haven't slept in a real bed for weeks, said Sakura, or a nice warm bed where we can sleep without having to worry about an attack or a sound assassin. A warm meal that isn't growl, said Shikamaru. Ramen, said Naruto as Sakura hit him across the back of the head. Naruto-kun, you barker, do you know how bad that is for you? Asked Sakura. But it is so good and I haven't had any since the invasion, said Naruto. Okay, you can have a little when we get out of here, said Sakura as Naruto smiled as Tsunade left the room only to find the citizen leader of the council and war hawk, Danzo. Good day, Lady Hokage, said the old evil man. What do you want, Danzo? Asked Tsunade. I want to know who are those people, asked Danzo. Well, we are trying to confirm if who they say that they are is correct, and once we have confirmation then you will know, said Tsunade as Shizune came running up breathing heavy. It's a match, he is the fourth son, said Shizune as Danzo looked on, his eyes as dinner plates. What? The fourth has a son? Asked Danzo. Yes, his name is Naruto Uzumaki, or rather Naruto Namikaze, said Tsunade. What? That demon child is the son of the fourth Hokage? Yelled Danzo. Yeah, I am the fourth son, said Naruto as he appeared in the doorway. Who are you? That demon child is only 12 years old, said Danzo. Well, you see, I am from 9 years in the future, me and my team came to the past to save the village from being destroyed, said Naruto as Danzo's eyes widened as Naruto started to grin. I know what you're thinking, old man. You're thinking of a way to keep your power on the council. Since there isn't an even number of clans, you just lost the ability to vote when there is a tie. And who said I will let you on my council? Said Danzo. Your council, said Naruto as he raised an eyebrow. Besides, I am the fourth son who was the last Namikaze, which means I get everything my clan has, and that includes the council seat. Therefore there is nothing you can do to stop me from taking it. Danzo just glared at him. Naruto will explain everything tomorrow when he gives his report to the council, said Tsunade as Danzo stormed out. So now I have to explain things to the council. I guess that means you believe me, said Naruto. Yeah, I believe you, but now I believe you guys need to explain things to their parents, said Tsunade as Naruto rubbed his eyes. This is not going to end well, they didn't even come to Sakura-chan's and I wedding. How are they going to take it when they find out that their 12-year-old girl is now a 21-year-old married woman? Asked Naruto. I don't know, but you two can't hide from those two forever, said Tsunade. Don't worry, you will have my support. Sakura will stay where she wants to. And that place is at your side, Naruto-kun, said Sakura as she appeared next to Naruto. I'll talk to your parents first, break the news that their little girl is gone, said Tsunade. I'll send someone to get you too. Tsunade, Shushu, please do not tell about me and Naruto being married. I want to do that, said Sakura as Tsunade looked at her. Shushu, asked Tsunade, I forgot to tell you, you were my sensei for years when Naruto went away to train with Jiraiya to get Sasuke back, said Sakura. So you're my student? Asked Tsunade. Yeah, I even took the role of Sannin after I trained under you for 5 years, said Sakura. I was named a new Sannin after I beat Pervy Sage, said Naruto. New Sannin? Asked Shizune. Basically, since I made a deal with the Kyuubi. He gets his freedom from me and gets to go back to the summoner world. I get the ability to summon him and the other summon foxes, and because of that and the bloodline limit he gave me, I was named the Fox Sannin. Said Naruto as Shizune and Tsunade looked on stunned. You can summon the Kyuubi? Asked Shizune. Yeah, but he had to give a lot of chakra to allow us to travel back in time. So he is sleeping, said Naruto. What about this bloodline limit? Asked Tsunade as Naruto smiled before closing his eyes. When he opened them again they were blood red with SS. I call it demon eyes. It gives me complete control over the same amount of red chakra as being in a three-tailed state, said Naruto as he smirked at the sight as the dumbfounded looks on Tsunade and Shizune. They both looked at each other before walking off. Naruto-kun, you didn't tell them about me getting that bloodline limit because of me being your mate, said Sakura as she looked at her husband's red eyes with red eyes of her own. Must have skipped my mind, said Naruto as both Namikazes just smiled at each other before their eyes changed back to their normal colors. Meanwhile in Sound Country, what do you mean that Sasuke is gone? Yelled Orochimaru glaring at the person in front of him. I am sorry Lord Orochimaru, but our scouts found the SB of the Sound 5 and Sasuke's trail ends at the Valley of the End. Tell our scouts to double their search. I want Sasuke found, yelled Orochimaru only to see his subordinate hadn't moved. Sir, I don't think you understand. The trail ended at a point where a huge crater began and we found what we think is left of body parts inside. We believe that Sasuke Uchiha is said Kabuto. What? Someone killed Sasuke, said Orochimaru. That isn't all, sir, said Kabuto as he pulled out a piece of black cloth with part of a red cloud on it. We found this in a second crater. Someone killed an Akatsuki member? Asked Orochimaru. Yes, we believe it was the same person who killed Sasuke. As of who they are we don't know, said Kabuto as he pushed up his glasses. Leave now, yelled Orochimaru furious at how things had turned out. With that Kabuto left the room. So you are telling us that our little girl is gone? Asked Manao Haruno as he and his wife sat in the Hokage's office. Rin had pink hair and wore a Junin uniform. In a way, said Shizune. She isn't it's just her future self is part of a team that went back in time to save us all. The jutsu they used merged her past self with her current self, said Tsunade. How far forward in time? The pink-haired Rin Haruno in her Junin outfit asked. 9 years, said Shizune as Rin's eyes started to water. 9 years, 9 years, that would make her 21, said Rin. We lost 9 years of our daughter's life. More like 7, said a new voice as Rin and Manao looked behind him to see a pink-haired woman standing there. Sakura, asked Rin. Yes mom, it's me, said Sakura as her mother ran up and hugged her. My baby girl, you look, cried Rin onto Sakura's shoulder, happy to see her baby girl. Different, older, take your pick, Sakura said casually. You said 7 years, what happened did we asked Manao. No, you two didn't until a few weeks ago my time, you just refused to come in contact much less speak to me for 2 years, said Sakura. I would never do that to you, said Rin. You are our little girl, said Manao. I hope you keep those words, said Sakura. You can come in now. Slowly the door opened and in walked a tall man with wild blonde hair. Minato, thought Manao before he saw the whisperer marks on his cheeks. Demon, screamed Rin as she pulled Sakura back behind herself. Stay away from my daughter. Naruto just rolled his eyes. See Sakura-chan, I told that this is how they would react to me, said Naruto, tired of constantly getting this reaction from the villagers. Of course we would react this way, demon, you almost destroyed this village, shouted Manao. And me and my team are going to save it, said Naruto. I don't care if you came back to save us, you are still a monster. You'll just try to destroy the village again as soon as we let our guard down. Rin yelled, finishing with a glare as Naruto looked down at the floor. Okay then, I'll leave, I will wait for you outside, Sakura-chan, said Naruto as he turned to walk away. He tried to walk but realized something was holding him back. He turned to see Sakura holding his wrist. Naruto, wait, I am coming with you. Sakura spoke as she pushed past her parents. Sakura, stop, stay away from that demon, yelled Rin. He is evil. He is my husband, said Sakura coldly as she and Naruto walked out, leaving her parents standing there shocked. Did she just say husband? Asked Rin to her husband. Yes, you two just insulted your daughter's husband and called the 4th Hokage's son a demon, said Tsunade. Wait, the demon child is the 4th son? Asked Manao, unable to believe that thing was related, much less the son of the village's hero. Yes, he is, said Shizune. He is the last of the Namikas, which means that since that he is the last of the Namikas and your daughter is his wife, which makes her a Namikas as well. But she is only 12, she can't be married, most of all to a demon, yelled Rin, upset with her daughter's taste in men. I looked over all the docents that they brought back with them, said Tsunade. I signed off on all the docents that makes them all legal in this time. She is the 21-year-old slug Sanin Sakura Namikas. The best you can do is try to make peace with your daughter and accept the fact that she loves the fox-san and Naruto Namikaze. Both Rin and Manao just stood there thinking about what they heard. Meanwhile outside the office Naruto and Sakura meet up with Shikamaru and Temari. How did your meeting go? Asked Naruto. Strangely well, said Shikamaru as he light up a smoke. My mom just seemed happy that she will have grandkids sooner. My dad was just proud to that I am part of a team that is going to save the village. How did yours go? Just as we thought, my parents called Naruto-kun a demon, that sort of thing, said Sakura as her stomach started to rumble. Sounds like someone is hungry, said Naruto before his stomach growled even louder, causing Sakura to chuckle. Well, none of us have had a real meal in weeks, said Sakura. Do you think they will let us go? Yeah, they will let us go, said Temari. We are after all leaf ninjas. So after they let us go, you want to go get some ramen? Asked Naruto. No, because we were invited to a home-cooked dinner at my parents' house, said Shikamaru. Sounds good, said Naruto. The moment we get out of here I will send some shadow clones to fix up our house, Sakura-chan. Sounds good to me, said Sakura as Shizune walked out of the office and to them. Well then, Lady Tsunade has allowed you guys to roam the village but no leaving, said Shizune. If you need money we can give you some. No, thanks, we brought some of our money back with us, said Naruto as he pulled a scroll from his jacket, as the four of them left the tower. Meanwhile walking around the village was Hinata Hyuga. She was dressed in her normal tan jacket with blue pants. She was looking for any sign of her Naruto-kun, but for hours she had come up empty. He along with Shikamaru and Sakura had disappeared. Finally she sat down on a bench in front of the Hokage's tower. Where are you, Naruto-kun? Hinata, said a new voice, making Hinata turn her head. Kurenai-sensei, said Hinata as she stood up and bowed a little to her sensei, who was dressed in her normal outfit. Hinata, what are you doing out here? Asked Kurenai as she sat down next to her student. I am looking for someone, said Hinata softly while thinking of Naruto. Kurenai smiled seeing her light blush. You're looking for Naruto, right? Asked Kurenai as Hinata's blush deepened. I am sure you'll find him soon. As she said this, doors leading into the Hokage's tower opened and out walked four ninjas. Two went one way and the other two walked toward them. For a second Hinata felt like fainting when she saw the tall blonde-hair man, who looked just like Naruto. Kurenai-sensei, have you ever seen any of those people before? Asked Hinata while directing Kurenai to the people coming out of the tower. No, I haven't, but yet they seem familiar, said Kurenai, but I can't place where I saw them. Well, one looks like Naruto-kun, maybe they're related, said Hinata as she stood up. Hinata, you know full well that Naruto is an orphan, said Kurenai as she looked at her student. I don't care, it is the first clue I have to where Naruto-kun is, said Hinata as she took off running after the blonde-hair man. We have company, whispered Naruto to his wife. Naruto-kun, I am a Sannin, I think I can tell when a genin is tracking us, whispered Sakura back as they stepped up to the food stand and ordered some food for them. I wonder how long she is going to watch us, said Naruto as they started eating as Hinata hid on top of a nearby building. Who is this guy? Asked Hinata as she kept watching the couple eat. What are you up to, Hinata? Spying on Naruto again? Asked Ino as she appeared next to Hinata, making her jump. No, I am not spying on Naruto-kun. Shuttered Hinata, I don't know where he is. Hinata, you really need to work on that shutter of yours. How are you going to impress Naruto if you can't even talk to him? Asked Ino before she looked down and saw the people she was spying on. My god, that is the woman who appeared at the gate, right when Forehead disappeared. You mean that she may know what happened to Naruto-kun and the others, said Hinata, while the two 12-year-old girls talked. Naruto and Sakura sat there listening to them. So, should we go and surprise them? Whispered Naruto as he placed some money on the counter. Why not, it has been too long since we have had a good laugh, answered Sakura as both of them disappeared in a flash of yellow and a flash of pink. Where did they go? Asked Hinata as she frantically looked around. What are you guys doing up here? A voice from behind the two girls asked. Instantly they spun around to see the same people they were spying on standing there. We are looking for some of our friends, said Hinata as she tried to act like they weren't doing anything. On the rooftop? Asked the pink-haired woman as she raised an eyebrow. Okay, We were watching you two because we think you know where our friends are, said Ino while standing up. Who are your friends? Asked the man as he started to grin. Sakura Haruno, Shikamaru Nara and Naruto Uzumaki, said Ino. Yes, we know where they are, said the pink-haired woman with a grin. In fact, I can see Naruto right now. The moment she said this, Hinata looked at her wide-eyed. Naruto-kun, you can see Naruto-kun right now, said Hinata as she started to blush up a storm. Will you two stop stringing them along and just tell them who you are, said a new voice as another person appeared on the rooftop. Ino looked at the man and for a moment thought it was Shikamaru's father, Shika, but unlike him this man didn't have the scars across his face, but like her sensei Asuma this man had a cigarette in his mouth. Shikamaru, you are ruining all our fun, said the blonde hair man with a grin. Wait, Shikamaru, said a very confused Ino. Yes Ino, I am Shikamaru Nara from 9 years in the future, said the black hair man. Wait, if you are from the future, then you two must be, said Ino as she looked at the blonde hair man and pink-haired woman. Naruto-kun, said Hinata as she looked up at the man standing in front of her. Yes, Hinata, it is me, said Naruto. Then you must be, said Ino as she pointed at the pink-haired woman. Yes, I am Sakura. So now that we have that out in the open, what are you doing here, Shikamaru? I thought you and Temari are having dinner with your parents. Yeah, I did, and Temari sent me to get some food to be part of some traditional Suna dish, said Shikamaru. I personally think she just wanted to talk to my parents alone. Well, do you blame her for wanting to better introduce herself to her in-laws? Said Sakura. True, said Shikamaru before he looked down at his watch. Well, I better get going. You two get some sleep, don't stay up all night. You have to give a report to the council tomorrow. With that he disappeared into the night. He's one to talk, he and Temari are way louder than us, said Naruto, forgetting about the two 12-year-old girls standing behind him. What? Yelled Ino, you are having S with Naruto. Of course I am Ino, Naruto-kun is my husband, said Sakura, rubbing her temples to soothe the headache forming. Hinata just stood there heartbroken, she could feel the building pain in her chest. Her Naruto-kun was gone and never coming back. The one who was here she could never have because he was 9 years older than her and married to someone else. Well, we better get going, said Sakura. Hey you two, why don't you get all our friends and their senseis together at Training Field 7 tomorrow around 2 p.m. We will explain everything there. Wait, where is Sasuke-kun? Asked Ino as the two of Namikazes started to leave. The response from Naruto was simple but given in a cold tone, gone. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.